Kelley. I am good. I saw your scar.
Yeah.
That looked good.
Yeah, still looking good. I mean, so I changed it for the first time 3 days after the surgery, which was Monday. Yeah. And then I changed it again yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked even a little better than it did on Monday.
That was insane. I know we talked about it a lot in the chat. I sent you a picture of my foot.
Yeah.
And
I could have done better than that, doctor.
I was looking at your scar. I was like, am I remembering this incorrectly? Like, was it better than I remember? And first I went to Google Photos and typed foot and got a bunch of adorable Cartman photos and even Aria photos of her growing up, but didn't find my foot. And I remembered it was on Facebook, and then I found it and sent it to you, and it was gnarly.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess my doc is pretty good.
That's great.
I mean, maybe that's also why he was just like, yeah, I don't need to see you for 2 weeks. I crushed it. I'll just see you in 2 weeks rather than just a couple days.
Yeah. Any improvements on, like, pain or range of motion or anything?
I mean, I'm still not supposed to be moving it at all, so I'm not. I mean, I'm still on the OPs, the opiates,
Mm-hmm.
but I think for the most part, it's definitely feeling better. Like, it's not hurting as much, but I mean, right now I'm still just struggling with sleeping with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst part of the whole situation right now. Like, there's no position I can get to in my bed where, I mean, I might have said this last week. It's just, it doesn't even really, like, hurt. It just, I feel it. Mm-hmm. And no matter how tired I am, that feeling is just a feeling that I can't go to sleep with having that feeling.
I recently woke up in the middle of the night, and almost always, like, when it's time to sleep, I just say, okay, bye, and go to sleep.
Yeah. And
it was one of those rare times where I was just on my stomach, face down, eyes closed. I was like, what's going on here? And just had to be alone with my thoughts and, like, trying to quiet my thoughts. Because I do have, like, a procedure that is, like, 100% automated at this point. But back when I was learning how to fall asleep on command, it was like, you turn off the things at the periphery, and then you just keep turning off more and more things until it's just, like, literally you and one thought of, it's not even a word, it's not even a thing, it's just the act of consciousness. And then you just sit with that until it turns off. And now I just do that, like, I used to do that over the course of, like, minutes, and now I do that, like, almost instantaneously. But I forget where I was going with that. It was weird. It was weird to be in bed and want to sleep and not sleep.
It really fucking sucks. Like, I tell you now, like, I've been dealing with this, like, it's been 13 days since the injury. Mm-hmm. And 6 days since the surgery. And since the injury, I think I've had 2 good nights of sleep.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. And then other than that, I'm probably averaging 3 to 4 hours of sleep. Mm-hmm. Usually in about 1 to 2 hour increments.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a full, like, all that in one row. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a lot of, like, it has been just a lot of me just in bed, just, I mean, kind of tossing and turning, just trying to find a different position, something to where, like, I just can't feel it. Mm-hmm. So I can fall asleep. And it's just, over the last few nights, it's been where I'm in bed for a while, and then I just come to realize it's not going to happen. And when I say a while, like, I'm talking like 5-6 hours of
wow.
just
that's way too long.
being awake. Like, TV's not on, no lights on, nothing, like, fully in sleep mode, and just nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And then I've been going downstairs and sitting on the couch, and there I'm able to get like an hour of sleep maybe at a time, because I can sit up on the couch and it doesn't, like, I can't feel my arm.
Is that what this is about?
So yeah, like last night, because the thing is too, I go to sleep normally just like 4 hours earlier than Jeremy does on the usual. So he's downstairs doing stuff. So last night I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to maybe set up in this room on the couch in here, so I can, like, when it's time for me to go to bed, I can just go straight in here, just totally skip the messing around in bed part. And it kind of worked. I mean, I still got dialed in this couch in here. It's a pretty cheap couch. It's not that comfortable. So I think I went to sleep and I got maybe like an hour and a half, and then I woke up. And then I had to get up and walk around because I was a little sore. Like, because just sitting up isn't a comfortable way to sleep. So, like, my body just doesn't really like it. And then got back down and slept for maybe another hour. Got up, and it wasn't really feeling that good. And by that time, Jeremy had just gone to bed. So then I just moved downstairs. And last night, in total, I probably got about 8 hours, which is the most I've gotten since the night after my surgery, when I was still, like, had the nerve block and couldn't feel my shoulder at all. But it's in, like, hour to hour and a half chunks, and then I'm awake 15 to 20 minutes in between each of those chunks. So I'm never getting a deep sleep. I'm never getting that REM sleep. And then it takes me some time to, like, get up, stretch, and get back down, and then calm my mind down to get back to sleep. So, like, and it's real, like, just sleep is just weird. Like, the other night I got like 3 hours of sleep, but the next day I was, like, feeling pretty good. Like, wasn't really tired. Last night I got a total of 8 hours, but today I've just been absolutely dead. And, like, last night, as I was going to bed, I was telling Jerry, like, I was, like, painfully tired. Like, it just hurt to be awake. But, and even last night, it wasn't very good, so. But I have to believe it's going to get better at some point. I'm starting to feel like the nerve that they messed with whenever they blocked my stuff, and that's weird. Like, I can touch my neck and I can feel it, and then, like, I'll get, like, shooting pains down my arm every once in a while. So that's fun. That's a new development with it.
What about the shoulder itself?
I mean, again, like I said, it's not hurting as much, I think. Yesterday was a little rough, but today's been really good in terms of pain. But that's also probably because, like, I never put it in a bad position trying to lay down for hours and hours. And it being in a weird position. But then also, like, all my other muscles are just so fatigued because I haven't been able to, like, legit lay down and get some, like, any kind of just rest, like, even if I'm not sleeping, in 2 weeks, basically. So
1 week after surgery is probably too soon to feel normal, but probably at, like, the 10 to 14 day, like, approaching 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my doc wants me to go back 2 weeks after the surgery, which is a week from today. When we're doing this, if we do it next week, which I don't know why we aren't, but you disappear sometimes. I'll have already gone to my follow-up appointment, and he said that after 2 weeks I should be out of the sling.
Great.
And I'll still be, like, super limited mobility with the arm and shouldn't be lifting anything with it, but I shouldn't need the sling.
Yeah, it won't incapacitate you to have your arm free swinging.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, if stuff isn't better a week from now, then we're going to have problems.
Other problems, Well, I hope it gradually gets better. I mean, between now and this time next week. I mean, probably be an exponential thing of feeling a little bit better and then a lot better.
I hope so. I mean, when I hurt my foot at that Cowboys game we went to, it wasn't necessarily a break, but it was a bad injury. And it just hurt. And then just, like, one day, it was like, it went from, like, 5% good to, like, 80%. Just in one day. So I'm hoping that kind of happens with this. I'm not really expecting it, but I'm expecting within the next week to be able to actually, like, get into bed again. But until then, I mean, I've already been dealing with this for a while now, so I've got a pretty good routine, I guess, how to deal with it. But
I wonder if it's going to be more, you do start sleeping, and then if the it'll be one of two things. Either it's worst in the morning, like before you get to like warm it up and move it around, or the other. You wake up and like, oh, it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't. I would be fine if I woke up and it was just in super pain if I like slept a decent amount. Dealing with pain when you're tired is a lot worse than dealing with pain when you're not as tired.
Everything's like when you're tired.
Yeah.
Being hungry.
Yeah.
Being sleepy. Being hurt.
But that's about where I'm at with it. I mean, we're making progress. The incision's looking better each day. So, I mean, that's the main thing right now. It's just that not getting infected and healing properly.
How'd you feel about me posting a photo of your incision?
I'm fine with it.
Cool. I'm going to do a side-by-side. Be like 10 years of medicine or however long it's been.
I almost want to give you an even more updated photo just because it looks a little better and cleaner. Because, I mean, the first photo was like right after I took the surgery bandages off that had been there for 3 days. So, like, the skin around it that the tape was on was still a little irritated. And
Did you see there was some tape on my foot still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I have no problem you posting it.
Cool. You're going to get better soon, Kelley.
I mean, I hope so. I need to. I don't know how long I can go this sleep deprived.
We'll probably be over tomorrow night, and you might not feel that much better by then, but certainly by the time we do this next week, I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I am too, and it's just getting to that point. Just embracing the suck. That's my motto for this whole thing. Just gotta embrace it. Just go with it. Do whatever you can, and whatever's out of my control, just put it out of my mind and just go to my happy place.
Cool.
Yep. So that's about where I'm at. How are you doing?
I'm great. I mean, this is definitely busy season for work. So I don't think it was last night. I think it was the night before. I think it was Tuesday night. It's summer, so the sun is out late. But at like 8 p.m. I was like, I want to go to sleep. Then maybe it was last night, because this morning was the first time I didn't have something at like 8 or 8:30 in the morning. So I could actually like go out at 6:30 and do a 5-mile walk run thing.
Yeah.
Which I need to do. Like, it's not just for getting in shape. Like my left foot with the plantar thing. I just gotta. I'm not getting enough steps. I'm not getting miles in the house, and I gotta keep it loose and try and get that all healed up so that I'm not scared to run and all that. Ran into a lady walking 3 corgis this morning, which is pretty adorable, and she said she was only one of them was hers, and 2 of them she was semi-fostering for a buddy who fosters like 11 corgis at a time, which I was like, 11 corgis in one place, oh my god. That was nice, but definitely the 2 big things that have happened between this time and last time, Ashley's birthday.
Yep.
Which I think was a success. She's pretty happy with all the stuff. And then we started watching Quarterback as a group. And gets the juices flowing.
It's been so hard for me to just not go like solo and just secretly watch it all just back to back by myself and just not tell y'all, and then watch it again with y'all so I could watch it twice.
Before we talk about Quarterback, I should have gotten a selfie of this, but Laura was in town and dropped by, and like on Ashley's birthday, so that was nice. Ashley's birthday, obviously the 13th, but then Laura's birthday is like the following Monday, so what is that, 17th? Yeah. And then my grandma Betty's birthday was yesterday, and then my cousin Amanda's birthday, I believe, is tomorrow. So it's just like birthday. My cousin Amanda, my grandma Betty, my little brother James, they all went to Vegas on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I did end up Venmoing and Zelling James and Amanda, and I thought about giving like elaborate instructions.
Yeah.
But instead I was like, just put this much on like a specific number that's important to each of them for different reasons.
Yeah.
And then whatever the color was, and if it was even or odd, I was like, and then put it was like $5 on the number because the number never hits.
Yeah.
But then on the other two, it was like $10 on red or odd. And I was like, I have no way of knowing if you do this or not. So if you don't do it, it's fine. But those are my instructions. Enjoy, have fun. And with James, a little shit. Dale Carnegie.
Uh-huh.
Are you familiar with How to Win Friends and Influence People, of course?
Absolutely.
One of the lessons he puts in there, he's talking to a lady, or maybe a guy, but somebody whose grandchildren won't write them back.
Yeah.
And he's like, do this, write them a letter and say, howdy, blah, 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 blah. Hope you have fun with this 10, 20, $100, whatever it was. And, but don't put the money in there. And they'll write you back. So I'm always texting, not always texting James. I text James like, probably less than once a month, but more than once a quarter.
Yeah.
Never text me back. But I text him like, hey, do you got PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, so I can send you some stuff for the Vegas trip? The fucker texts me back. And then cousin Amanda, texts me right back. And anytime that we've texted, she's very prompt and all that. But sent her the Venmo, sent her the, hey, here's my instructions. Do these things. If you do them, great. If you don't, I'll have no way of knowing. Just have fun is the point. And I sent her like an amount, and then for the roulette, it was like a fraction of that amount. So I wasn't saying like use all of the thing that I sent you this way. And she texted me right back like, that's great. Thanks so much. Love you. And nothing from James. So I hope he's having fun. I get it. But also, it's my quietest little brother.
I could see myself doing something like that to my brother.
So yeah, high five Laura. I got her. Ash got her some birthday presents. I got her some flowers and stuff. And yeah, that's the family stuff. So I hope everybody's winning big in Vegas right now.
Yeah, I want to go back to Vegas.
All right, so quarterback.
Quarterback.
Great time. Ash and I mean, the greatest thing of the last 4 years has been Ash just diving into football and how much she loves it and how much we talk about it.
Right.
And how she's on top of things sometimes that I have that are visible to me because I'm not on Instagram and the social medias.
Right.
Like those youngins are. And we talk a lot about there's tiers, there's levels of this thing, and how the wide receivers that have that special relationship with the quarterback, how you can see it's apparent and it makes a big deal from a fantasy perspective, but also just success on the field. Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford is the perfect example, or Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, great example. And quarterback is so much about that, but do it with the head coach and the quarterback. He got some strategic genius on the sideline, but it's all moot. It's all pointless unless you actually get the captain on the field to execute it. And it's just such a fun show. I've never seen the F1
Drive to Survive.
Yeah, people keep comparing it to that, but I mean, I'm comparing it to Hard Knocks, and just that level of you get to see into what's going on. I freaking love it.
I mean, it's an absolutely glorious show. I mean, I love all those shows. I love Hard Knocks. Drive to Survive is amazing. I mean, I would tell you to watch it, but you've got 15,000 things you still got to watch. You'll get to it when you're 57. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I love that. I love seeing that behind the scenes stuff and hearing the in-depth part of the stuff we just don't really hear about. And that's something that I really enjoy about McAfee is him being a kicker, AJ being a linebacker, Pac-Man being a returner / receiver, and you hear AQ Shipley being a lineman. You get all these just really in-depth thoughts from a position that you normally wouldn't think about, like how much goes into each position.
Yeah.
And like the specifics that they're thinking about on a play-to-play, day-to-day basis. And then quarterback, the quarterback pretty much has to know all their stuff and then everything that everyone else is doing, basically. So that's just a whole other level, and it's just funny. Kirk Cousins is such a nerd.
Yeah, the personalities. So everything you just said, like the cerebral part of the game, like you're gonna get me all excited. But Darius Butler talking about
Diva,
talking about if you see this, then this. And AQ Shipley, that's a great example, and AJ is a good example too of like these are just big dudes, and you expect them to be meatheads, but there's so much thought that goes into each and every play, and like obviously these are like high. Probably not everybody's thinking and performing at the level that these guys are. Certainly not performing. But it seems like the thinking like definitely helps you be in that top tier. And love all that. Like when AJ, and especially like AQ Shipley, when he talks about the gaps and this is what you see, so this is how this play is supposed to go, and if you see this, then we change it to that. I get excited for my own sake, but then seeing like Ash get excited for that stuff just like takes it to another level. When Ash was asking me like, should we wait to watch the rest with the guys? And I was like, no, because we want to like watch, get through this. And that's when Jared texts like, we're gonna simulcast this, and I was like, damn it.
I honestly was wondering how it was gonna go after we simulcasted yesterday, because I think the whole point kind of the show and when they released it was like kind of if like you watch one a day since it was released,
you get to training camp.
Then you get to training camp, and then like that bridges that last gap between the off season and the preseason. But if we do one a week, it's gonna be the regular season before we finish.
Maybe instead of Mission Impossible tomorrow night, we watch like 2 episodes of Cornbread.
I would not be mad at that. I can't say how Jared would feel about it.
I've been thinking about McAfee being at the Colts training camp and how much fun that was last year.
Yeah.
That's like right around the corner.
Have they talked about going back?
I don't think they have. Honestly, I've been kind of busy. I know they're out this whole week.
I think this whole week and next week. And they were out like half last week for the American Century Championship.
Then they'd have to, if they were going to do it, then they would just show up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which they might.
They might. Who knows?
I saw you turned back on the Fantasy Football League.
No, that was just automatic. I thought you did it.
I thought you did it.
No.
Okay, cool. I was like, all right, Kelley.
I should have just taken credit for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then we got to talk commissioners meeting.
Yeah. We really do. I think we usually do it in July.
I'm going to fucking stomp your ass at Madden.
Probably. I got a broken arm.
Man.
Silly. But yeah, we gotta set a date for that here soon.
No word from Corey or Jamie on if they're coming to visit next week.
I'm guessing no.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Corey a little bit shortly after. I think that sound is going to probably be all up in this podcast. Do you hear it?
What is it?
It's the ceiling fan. Let's turn it off.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's like water.
It just started a couple days ago. I have no idea. Should turn.
I don't think it's any louder than my chair.
Your chair just gets real loud in the recording. Anyway, I chatted a little bit back and forth, texted with Corey shortly after I broke my arm, and just talking about what's up, and he was like, yeah, girls have a couple weeks left, and then we're taking them back to Houston, and then he's like, I'm excited to go to Houston because get to see some family, and then Jamie and I usually go out and have like a date night in Houston, and there was no mention of them coming out here.
Okay. I sent him a text on Google Chats, which I don't think has shown him seeing it. But I was hyping up him staying at our place and us like walking to Red Rooster, even like from our place, and doing like a karaoke thing, because I assume him and Jamie would love to do a drinking karaoke thing. And I would love to host that. But it's a weird noise that comes out.
It's a very weird noise. It also made it a little tough to sleep with that last night.
So that would be fun. I think for the commissioners meeting, I don't think we're going to change any rules.
I feel pretty like we're dialed in.
I think we're dialed in, yeah. And
we just got to review everything, just make sure we're good with everything.
I think now, I mean, we should be talking about the week to week, like any changes we want to make to the slideshow or the presentation.
Yeah.
Because we got it down to 90 minutes of pre-production. Is that what it should be called?
What do you mean? Oh, just the making of the whole thing?
Yeah.
Just production.
Yeah.
Producing. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's just stuff we got to go over. We just got to figure out the time to do it, and you just start making a list. And even if we're not changing anything, I think it wouldn't hurt to just look at everything just individually and just see how we feel about it, make sure we're not missing anything, do our due diligence.
There's got to be a way to get that audio icon off that first slide. I was looking at some of the videos.
Yeah.
I'd like to address the audio levels so that we can hear our voices clearly and have some consistency there. And then that you didn't like the field, the background.
No.
Yeah, so we can change that.
Yeah.
But I think whatever we change.
I had a real dumb idea.
I like a dumb idea.
No, it's like so dumb it doesn't even. There's no like, and it's an expensive dumb idea too. But for whatever reason, well, for a while now, I've tried to justify a reason for me to buy like a somewhat decent camera drone, so I could take like aerial drone shots of stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought of a few ways I could possibly integrate that with fantasy football. But that's a lot. And that's expensive. Those things aren't cheap. But we'll get there. Maybe someday. Have real nice, fancy, produced stuff.
I think based on the success of the last at least 2 years, every year I think that the year or the time and date that we put the draft, that folks are going to miss out on it, because I think it's always Labor Day weekend. And every year everybody shows up and I'm always like, that's great.
Yeah, but we'll figure all that out. We don't need to have an impromptu commissioners meeting right now.
Spooky. Football hype is off the charts. I'm looking at my notes. Barbie and Oppenheimer is the next thing I have on here.
Damn it, I was just about to say happy Barbenheimer weekend.
Barbenheimer weekend. I might have brought this up last time. I feel like we've been talking about those two movies for 6 months.
I thought they were supposed to come out like 2 months ago. I thought they were supposed to come out like right after something.
There's already on Facebook the behind the scenes and interviews with the director on this is how we did this and this is why we did that. I'm like, the movie's not out yet.
Yeah. I don't know. Don't really care too much about Barbie. Would like to see Oppenheimer, but I'm definitely not. It's not like I go to the theater. Just kind of want to see it.
I think similar to Mario Brothers, the TV you guys have is just so good.
Yeah.
Especially with the bright colors. Like, I think the gravity and seriousness of Oppenheimer probably does lend itself more to the theaters.
Yeah, and the sound.
Sure.
You want that big surround sound.
I also like the idea of, like, 80 or 100 people all, like, looking at the screen like, what have we done? Having, like, a community tribal moment. I don't think it was in the people in this room. I think it was in our pre-podcast that I talked about the nuclear arsenal and how we invented a god of death, and that's a problem.
We've been doing this a while. It might have gotten into an early one.
A year?
Yeah, that was something else I was going to bring up. We've officially been doing this for over a year now. Mm-hmm. We don't have 52 episodes yet, but we started. The first episode got posted July. Oh, I don't know. I forgot it.
You want to say 15th?
It might have been 15th. Last year, so happy birthday to the people in this room. Woo!
Thanks, Mom, for listening.
Thank you, our listener.
Sometimes Justin.
And that one time I say some shit, Jamie hears it.
But Mom, every time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. I am excited to see it. I've heard it called Avengers for Nerds. I'm looking forward to that. I learned something new, and I'm like a dumb World War II history guy.
I wouldn't say you're dumb.
Something I learned about the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. I don't know if it was unique to this specific bomb or like each of the bombs developed at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But out of so many kilograms of uranium,
mm-hmm.
it was less than a gram that actually went fissile, that actually underwent fission.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, destroyed a city. And the bombs that we make now, obviously there's all kinds of footage of how much more insanely intense they are than those bombs were. But
I was just about to say, like, those first couple atomic bombs were like a black cat.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to what we actually have right now, or what we could have put together, which is just scary.
A few episodes ago, the one after Father's Day, I talked about how the world we grew up in, we didn't have the specter of like actual inflation looming over us until like super recently COVID. Similarly, the nukes are all there. Like, very few, if any, have been like destroyed. There have been treaties to like limit the amount of nuclear weapons, but it's still many times over the amount of nuclear weapons necessary to end humanity.
Thousands and thousands of them.
Never went away, that threat. And we just kind of pretend like it did. Even though Russia is in like arguably worse state than it's ever been in.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see a nuke detonated in our time.
Somebody was talking about if you translate the lessons from Russia's military going into Ukraine with like zero maintenance, like all of these super rudimentary like tires falling off because they weren't used, not having bolts and ball bearings, this, that, and the other. If you carry that over to the nuclear space, like if they wanted to launch them, would they leave the tubes? And there's people like on the very extreme end of the spectrum that are like, it might be like 5% that are actually functional at this point. Like if you like literally translate this to that, and how much more complicated a nuclear launch, not just the missile itself, but like maintaining the warhead because it's like constantly eroding what's around it, I guess.
Yeah.
That it might be a very low percentage of their arsenal that actually works. But then I don't know if that's like reassuring at all.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I try not to think about it.
It's like all I think about.
Silly.
Yeah. Barbenheimer. Do you got a KQC lined up?
Yeah, I found one. It's really stupid and pretty short, but I got one. Just got it under the wire before you got here.
Pretty stupid and kind of short, sounds like me.
You're not that short. I was looking at getting a custom cookie cake made for my brother's upcoming birthday.
When's that?
August 1st.
So many birthdays.
Although he'll be in Idaho for his birthday.
Idaho. Really? Your brother in Idaho?
Yeah.
Is he going to that one place? Jackson Hole?
No.
What's he doing?
Boise. His old best friend Molly lives out there with her family now.
Jackson Hole might be in Wyoming. Molly. I know Molly.
And,
right?
Yeah. She has a younger sister, Brianna Cummings. Well, it was nice. They're both married now. But yeah, gonna go see her and her kids and her family, hang out a few days.
Very cool. Let's see what we got.
Quiz. The quiz is titled, "We can guess if you're a Karen based on your food choices."
I definitely have several Karen traits and tendencies.
I've seen them. But usually I think they're a little more justified than a normal, like, Karen. Mm-hmm. But when you get in on something, you get in on it.
Off the top of your head, what's one you're thinking of?
I remember one time when we were both working in the offices at Informatica, and there was some kind of IT issue, and you were just... You were not yourself. That was the first time I was ever around you, and I'm like, I've known this dude for like 15 years. Who is this guy? This is not that guy I know. You were just totally different. It was wild.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Alrighty. Question 1. First, choose a drink. You can choose soda, water, juice, coffee. I'm going water. That's what I drink like 90% of the time.
We've had these before. It's not soda. You might think it's coffee, but I think the way that I like coffee is like this, right? It's a chocolatey drink that happens to be caffeinated.
Yeah.
It's juice for me. Like, I mean, honestly, it's water. Like, I drink a bunch of water, but if I have a choice, I want, like, water with some citrus and...
Juice is nasty.
Sugar.
You're nasty.
I'm nasty.
Alright, next question. Choose some chips. You can do potato chips, veggie chips, tortilla chips, or chips, no way, only fruit. I mean, definitely not that for me. Definitely not veggie chips. And it really just depends on my mood. Like, I just go back and forth on tortilla and potato. I've been on a potato chip kick lately. Ridged, specifically. Mm-hmm. So I guess since that's where I'm at the moment, I'll choose potato chip. But
so the veggie chips are like freeze-dried or dehydrated vegetables, and I am a fan of those, so I'm going veggie chips.
Who are you? Next question. Pick a main course. Burger, salad, pasta, chicken nuggets.
Burger.
Yeah, I'll probably go burger too. Although, I really like all of those.
I was talking about this in a food chat. Like, as much as I travel, most of these hotels have, like, little bars, mm-hmm. restaurants inside them. And just get a burger. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I eat a bunch of burgers.
It's real hard to mess up a burger. Alright. What's for dessert? Air. Which is dumb. Who does that? Ice cream. Milkshake. Fruit. I'm going to go ice cream just because the picture is of like ice cream on a brownie, which ice cream on a brownie is the single best dessert ever created by mankind. Period. If you say anything differently, you're dumb.
Maybe not a brownie, but cold and warm. I like a cold and warm combo. I mean, yeah, an ice cream brownie I'm always happy with. That's
the best. God, I want one right now. Mm-hmm. And finally, how much are you tipping? Way too much because I feel guilty. An average amount. I'll just put a few dollars in. Nothing. The service was unacceptable. I definitely put more than average every time. So I'll do way too much.
Yeah, my default is 25%. That is not always been the case, but we eat out so infrequently now that it's a simple thing to do.
But what about like delivery? Do you get delivery?
No. Well, that's like if we get Thai food, then yeah.
And then do you tip properly?
I hit the 25%.
Okay.
And then like Five Guys, where we go pick it up, also 25%. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
But I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we're only doing it so often.
Yeah. And the answer is, I am not a Karen. Whew.
What picture did you get, though?
Pinata.
Okay, me too. Same.
See, I told you it was kind of lame. I knew we weren't Karens. But it was funny.
It's good to know for sure, definitively.
I wonder what choices... I want to do it again real quick and just see if I can choose choices that will say you're a Karen.
I bet juice is a Karen choice.
Alright, we'll say juice.
Ooh, veggie chips could be too.
Chips is veggie chips.
They probably want you to pick that fruit one.
Yeah, because you're like, it says chips, no way. Like, only fruit. Like, that's a little too opinionated there.
Yeah.
Salad.
What's the more Karen thing, a salad or chicken nuggets? I clown people for their chicken nuggies.
Well, I mean, chicken nuggies are definitely something, but it's not Karen. It might be like immature, like you're underdeveloped, and like.
You think it's salad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can redo it and guess your own to try to see if you can get Karen.
I'm not.
What's for dessert?
Gotta be air.
Air.
Right?
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Finally, how much you're tipping? Nothing. I mean, that's probably the only question. Oh, I'm a Karen. Okay, so that's a pretty good picture for a Karen too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the best, but I'd be weary of her if I saw her out in public.
I guess so.
Real white, real short hair.
She's smiling though.
That's a fake smile though. That's not like, oh, you're a bitch kind of smile.
She's got her thumbs up too though. I don't know. I've seen better Karens.
Well, for sure. I'm just saying it wasn't the worst. That was this week's KQC.
Heck yeah.
That's about all I got for this week. You got anything else, bud?
No. May or may not see Barbie between now and next time.
I mean...
Seems hard to believe. I think the theaters will be crowded with too many excited people.
Yeah, wait until like you can watch it on our TV.
Yeah.
With the good colors. Although Jared was recently talking about when we were at Costco, he was looking at the new like QLEDs.
Mm-hmm.
Those like super colorful TVs.
Mm-hmm.
He was like kind of thinking about it. So we might have an upgraded TV at some point in the future. But until then, until next week, hopefully I'll be feeling better. Hopefully I'll be out of my sling by the time we do this again. But if you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends. And we love you all, and have a great week.
Love you guys. Bye.